So we're going to go for the next presentation, which is based from Dr. Shin Lip Boy. So Dr. Shin will be presenting on success indicators for Bukit Gemok as an ecotourism site. For Dr. Shin, so the floor is yours.
Hello, good evening everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, thank you. So good evening to SRD members, organizer, and also our beloved coaches, Prof. Awangku Asana. So today I'm going to present a title. My research title is about the success indicators for Bukit Gemok as an ecotourism site. Okay, so what means by ecotourism? So ecotourism is defined as a responsible travel to natural areas that conserve the environment, sustain the well-being of the local people, and involve interpretation and education. And also ecotourism also uniting the conservation, communities, and sustainable travel in this world. Okay, so for the introduction, tourism is the largest industry in the world, and it accounts for more than 10% of the total jobs and 11% of the global GDP, and total tourist travel is expected to rise to 1.6 billion by 2020. So tourism is a global business with an impact on millions of people's lives, and the capacity as an instrument of growth is immense. So developing and practicing the appropriate tourism will degrade behaviors and environment and reduce the natural resources and produce a waste and pollution. So with an increasing interest in the nature and a growing knowledge of the climate, ecotourism has become one of the fastest growing segments in the tourism industry. And now, ecotourism is also distinguished by the natural attractions, which is from the ecosystem for wildlife and the wilderness. And most countries prefer ecotourism as a means of economic growth, and it's seen as a type of tourism with a little effect. Operations in ecotourism are usually small scale, so they are very and easy to create because it is not involve any a large monetary, and also but just involve have a natural environment and also the involvement of the local community. So according to the TIES, the International Ecotourism Society, so they define the ecotourism as a responsible travel to natural areas that conserve the environment and sustain the well-being of local peoples. And this definition is not only implies that there should be a recognition of and positive support for the conservation of natural resources, and both by suppliers and consumers, but also that that is a necessary social dimension to the ecotourism. Okay, so for this research, that is a limited research on indicate the success of ecotourism site. And the problem statement is, according to Popova, so the indicators should revise every 3 years to ensure the effectiveness applicable of the indicators to the environment. And according to the Muhammad Daud, 2007, the tourism research life cycle has indicated that the site is fall into the jurisdictions level. And it is very important for the management of the site to take action in service and maintenance the site. So Brown argued that some research that focuses on the progress metrics are not unique to the field of ecotourism, but rather to the general areas of tourism and sustainable development. And the measurement and indicators available in the tourism literature do not reflect the purpose of ecotourism site. So according to the Pangeran Bagong and also our coaches today, 2009, so he's mentioned that the indicators is an important tools in measure the success of ecotourism site. That's why today my research is about the success, to determine the success level of the ecotourism site. Okay, so my research objective is about to investigate the context of success for Bukit Gemok. And number 2 is about the develop the indicators for Bukit Gemok. And number 3 is to identify the level of success of Bukit Gemok success. Okay, so this is the model that I adopt from the Butler. Okay, so which is I use this model to determine or to measure the success of the ecotourism site for Bukit Gemok. Okay, and this is the selection site selection guideline. So by Pangeran Bagu 2009. So the selection guides means that the selection sites also according to the characteristic has been stated in this schedule. Okay, so Bukit Gemok Hill, okay, is one of the most treasurable untouched forests in Malaysia, Sabah. Those upon visitors visit to this park, the park will get tourists a valuable experience with a natural forest that had been preserved and protected ever since its existence. Bukit Gemok is an ideal place for adventure seekers and travelers to enjoy in more jungle hiking and jungle trekking. So in the earlier 1990s, the forest reserve for Bukit Gemok was created, so extinct. So Bukit Gemok also furnished basic facilities along the road, such as a washroom, water, and rest huts. So and very convenient to getting to. So the park could be reached by car, even the small car also can reach. So, and there is a simple and noticeable sign. Tourists are recommended to enter the park to wear the proper and comfortable clothing. Okay, so, but also depending on the type of operation that enters the park. Okay, so literature review. So according to Popova, in this research, stated that the set of ecotourism impression and success indicators are mechanisms that measure the impact of ecotourism on the environment. So to evaluate these indicators, it is possible to determine whether the overall ecotourism goals are being achieved. So it means that it's whether the park is success or not to prepare or develop in as ecotourism. And also, according to Pangeran Bagul, the indicators might help management and others to identify how communities change as a result of tourism development. And according to Pacharaya and Kumari, a method for evaluating tourism effect threshold and changing socioeconomic and environmental status needs to be developed. And this can be achieved within the sustainability context by establishing the criteria and indicators. And Papua also stated that the damage to the resources and ecotourism could result in economic losses for those whose livelihood depends on tourism, as well as environmental and social losses for the local community. And however, such changes appear to accumulate and slowly over weeks, months, or year, which may eventually contribute to the massive which permanently changes in climate, worsening and living standard of the local community. And this is why these changes need to be regularly observed and monitored. For development trends to be followed and control the opportunity to regulate undesirable process to be established. Such indicators might show solid trends in the development of the ecotourism. So for the methodology, this study applied the methodological technique that can be help researchers understand how and when such planning and strategy take place.
You are requested to please follow the timeline. You have been given 10 minutes.
Yes, sure. 10 minutes. Okay, this study will interview tourism shareholder and two operators in obtaining the goals and 3 data. For the analysis, so the semi-structured interview will apply and the data will be collected until the data is saturated. Okay, so I proceed to the first result of objective. So during the interview with the respondent, there are 33 raw indicators discovered. Okay, however, after the clustering process, the remaining 15 indicators has become the compact and more meaningful compared to the raw indicators. So the first objective is about the context of success ecotourism site. The results show that the respondent perceived that the context of the success ecotourism site must reach in the natural environment. So you have the site must have a lot of attraction like flora and fauna, unique landscape, extinct animal. And also high visitor or also clean and well-managed previous result more to the business like carrying capacity, entrance fee, and also the promotion and so on. but no, the result has changed to manage. Okay, for the result, for my second objective, so there are 15 indicators has been found in this research. Okay, so for your information, this is the first research which is conducted about the indicators for Bukit Gemok in Sabah. This is the first result, and this is the first set of the indicators has been found for this research. Okay, so my third objective result is about the success. So the data show that there are no success for Bukit Gemok. So means that Bukit Gemok has not success yet in developed as an ecotourism site, because so when I match with the Butler models, however, there are only 30% of the characteristic matched with the Butler model. And then, so my target is actually more than higher than 50%. But however, there are only 30%. And so that considered as a no success for Bukit Gemok in developed as an ecotourism site. So for my conclusion is hope that this research will give a clear review of the success indicators of the ecotourism site in Sabah, and to help the related agency develop ecotourism site. So specifically, the current study is hoped to provide a clear view of the ecotourism's rules, political, and benefit in Sabah. So that's all for my research. That's all for my presentation today. So thank you.